Welcome back, life science learners. We're going to continue with our lesson on reproduction and reproductive strategies in vertebrates. As we get into the lesson, let's recognize what we need to get into. What we're looking at in this segment is the success of reproduction based on parental care, and we're going to kind of overview the structure of the amniotic egg and its significance in reproductive success. So, what is parental care? Are the young protected or fed? So, parental care is essentially the care offered by the parents. Is this only nurturing, or does this refer to the protection of the eggs, or even the time in which the egg develops internally, or the embryo and fetus develop internally? So let's try and unpack what parental care is. Parental care is the behavior patterns where the parents spend time or energy on feeding and protecting their offspring. In animals where most of the energy input of the parents is prenatal, essentially during the initial stages of development internally or of the egg, we find that there is usually very little or no postnatal parental care. So in individuals or species where there's a lot of parental care for the young developing before they are born, you'll find that the young develop successfully and the parents spend very little energy on caring for them post-hatching or post-development. So in animals where the parental care energy is less, postnatal parental care is intensive, requiring much more energy. So essentially, in species where you find that there's very little care prenatally, so there's very little development and incubation or development of the young during the development of the egg, you'll find that once they hatch or born, there is significant care for them post that. So we say that there is higher parental care if there is very little prenatal care. Right. Examples of parental care include the following: guarding of the eggs, the incubation of the eggs, keeping of the young warm, we see this in birds, feeding of the young, we see this in many mammals, the protection from predators, especially amongst you herbivores. We find that the young are often protected by their parents, and so this links to different types of parental care. Most fish display little to no parental care, and you'll find that after fertilization, the eggs are abandoned and the young have to survive on their own. Some fish, however, do show parental care. An example of that are some fish that are mouth brooding. So here you see that the young are developing inside the brooding pouch, which is the mouth of these fish. And so there are exceptions to the rules, and this is one example where the parents produce the eggs, they fertilized, and the mother holds these eggs in their mouth until the young hatch and are cared for. We also see that amphibians show little parental care. Parental care that involves only guarding the eggs and protecting them during their initial development is seen among some amphibians. Most reptiles display no parental care. Reptiles are terrestrial animals and they lay their eggs that are hatched and they heat up in the sun. So these eggs hatch independently and they develop autonomously with no specific intervention from their parents. However, we also see examples of exceptions to this. Crocodiles, however, guard their eggs and protect the young after hatching. Some lizards and snakes also guard their eggs. So we do see exceptions to the general rule. And so essentially these are strategies that ensures that these species or animals survive. So here are the crocodile. Here's an image of a crocodile, and you can see that it obviously has caught its prey and it brings it back, and the young are going to feed off that. And that's part of the extended parental care that we see in these reptiles. Birds display a great degree of parental care. The parents build a nest in which the eggs are laid, and this is obviously a period in which the eggs will undergo incubation. The nest helps to protect the eggs against predators, as well as when they are born and hatched. You find that often the nestlings rest in their nest, safe from other predators. Eggs are incubated through the body heat of the parents, and in most birds it is the female that incubates the eggs. And so this is a significant amount of parental care that we see. We also know that Birds often feed their young. So when the youngs hatch, you'll find that the parents go out, collect food, and that food is brought back. So feeding of the young is also part of parental care. We know that mammals, amongst all of the species, often display the highest degree of parental care. Most mammals are totally helpless after birth and completely depend on parental care. And we see that. Many mammals are born where they cannot survive independently, and they rely on their parents firstly for feeding and second for protection. And you'll find that after birth the young receive milk from the mothers through the mammary glands, and that is distinctive of your mammals. We also know that the young are kept warm by the body heat of the parents, helping them to regulate their body temperatures. And often the young do not have full body coverings of either fur or hair, and that means that they find it difficult to regulate their body temperatures. The parents often teach the young behavioral patterns so that the young can function independently. Example, how and where to find food. And we see this amongst our predators, where the wild dogs or even leopards and lions teach their young on how to hunt and to survive independently. And this is part of an instinctive behavior that is seen as part of parental care. Okay. We know that mammals show extensive parental care, and that parental care includes from the young of feeding them to the time in terms of nurturing them and skilling them up with the necessary skills of being able to access food, hunt, as well as protect themselves in terms of danger from predators. So if we were to compare parental care, it is a significant strategy amongst all species with different degrees depending on the complexity of their organization, with mammals showing the highest degree of parental care. And as we think about it, we often know that our parents care for us unconditionally. No matter how old we are, we often treat it as babies, and that's part of our instinctive makeup as us humans. So parental care is an integral part of us developing and growing. So guys, as we wrap this segment up, we've just looked at parental care as a significant reproductive strategy. I think you guys have been good, attentive. You deserve a bit of care, self-care. Go and rehydrate, drink some water, and I'll see you back in a little break.